Patriot, Nigeria's call, obey, to serve our fatherland with love and strength and faith. The labor of our heroes past shall never be in vain. To serve with heart and mind, one nation bound in freedom, peace and unity. Oh God of creation, direct our noble cause and guide our leaders right. Help our youth the truth to know. In love and honesty to grow and live in just and true. Great lofty heights attain to build a nation where peace and justice shall reign. Shall reign.
Good evening, Nigeria, once again. It's a pleasure meeting with you and having today's program. I want to say that the conference had been going on smoothly, and we are happy to be here again. Today is the day 5 of the Nigerian conference, and I am super excited at how far we've been able to go. But today we have a touch of royalty coming with us on this platform. We have invited a leader, a ruler in the traditional setting in Nigeria to have this discourse with us. You know, Project One is basically about nation building and how we all can work together from the church, like the day one of the conference, and tomorrow where we'll be bringing in the people from the Muslim section as well. And then today we're going to be having kings and monarchs and looking at how traditional rulers have been influencing society. And joining me today, as usual, will be Faith Jobai. And I'm sure it's going to be a fantastic time where we'll be considering how Nigeria can better be developed with every hands on deck, whichever religion you belong to, whatever sector you belong to. Faith, good evening and welcome to the day 5 of the Nigerian conference. Hello, Faith. Do we still have Faith in there? Hello, Faith. Oh, I think that we'll just lost Faith, but then we're going to go on. There's so many things to talk about today. There's so many concerns that we have as Nigerians, and some of the questions that you probably will post on the comment, we would have to share with the royalty that is joining us. We have very privileged to have the region of Iborokwa That is the Oluborokwa of Iborokwa that will be joining us all the way from Makoko. Now, for those who might not know, I'm an Akoko girl and I pride myself in that place. As in, it is actually a fantastic thing. And to those who might have never have met her before or experienced or interacted with her, you're going to meet someone who is committed to nation building, a young Nigerian, a vibrant Nigerian. And I would want to hear from the horse's mouth. So I'm not speaking for the traditional rulers or for anybody else to know how has it been ruling a sector of this country? How has it been bringing influence to the table? There are quite a number of factors. Sometimes you wonder, when we were growing up, in the words of our parents, they would tell you that the words of the king is final. Are the words of the kings in the current, are the words of the king in the current Nigerian final? Are there really things to back up all this at this point in time? So today I will be adding Regent Tinwade to this discussion.
Thank you. Although the network is really terrible over here, but please do bear with me. Oh my God. Network is terrible.
Hello, Your Excellency. Can you hear me?
Hello.
Your Majesty, can you hear me?
I can. Oh my. Wow. This is not going so well. Wow.
Project One Productions. Beautiful people, one night.
Well, I guess we are
Project One Productions. Beautiful people, one Nigeria. Different language, proud Nigeria. There's plenty food, these people good, oh. All of us in peace and unity. Oh yeah, hail Nigeria. Nigeria is sweet as sugar, oh. Different people, one Nigeria. No matter where you from, we don't be. All of us in peace and unity. Oh yeah, hail Nigeria. Oh, I'm a Nigerian too. I'm a Nigerian too. Strong people, one great nation. One great nation. Different faces, one Nigeria. No matter what you speak, we say be brother. All of us in peace and unity. We are clap for Nigeria. Different stories, many places to go, yeah. Plenty resources, everywhere green, yo. No matter where we go now, we go be king. All of us in peace and unity. Oh yeah, hail Nigeria. Nigeria, sweet as sugar. Sweet as sugar. Different people and Nigeria. Oh, it no matter where you from, we don't need no pain. It no matter. Oh, all of us in peace and unity. Oh yeah, hail Nigeria. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hello. My name is Mabel.
I want to hope that your day has been good and all has been going well. Like BB Elias said when the event started, is the word of the king still final in a day like today? Today we have an interesting guest with us. Um, His Royal Majesty Tinuade Babalola Adejuyigbe, the Olubo Ropa of Iboropa Akoko uh, in Odo State, who will be joining us. She was here shortly and she will be joining us again. But before we go ahead with today's event, I just want you to go down on the comment section of today and possibly write out if you know the name of the king of your town, okay, and what he or she is ascribed. Who is the king of your town? Do you know? Interestingly, most Nigerians don't know who the king or is in their town. Today we also have women, and that's interesting. We have women sitting in the capacity of ruler of states, just like we have the Queen of England is coming in Nigeria. So please just go down and right. Someone says they can't hear me. I hope you can hear me loud and clear. Hello, Faith, can you hear me? Can you hear me, Faith? I am muted.
Hello, Chunu. We actually could hear you. Can you hear me, Chunu?
Well, apologies for this technical error today. And
Hello.
possibly
Can you hear
right. Okay, yes. I think I can hear myself. If you know the Hello, Faith, can you hear me, Claire?
Chunu TJ, we can hear you. Hello, Chunu. The network has been extremely poor today. And it cuts across the whole of Nigeria. I am in Abuja. The regent is in Akoko. Faith is somewhere else. And Mr. Chudu is somewhere else. All of us seems to be experiencing the same downtown. But then we will not be deterred. I think we would just wait for a few minutes to have all this sorted out. And then we can kick in full force. But do not forget the assignment Chunu asked us to do. Do you know the name of the king in your town? You would think it's actually something flimsy, but over the years, we've focused so much on the corporate aspect of leadership. Who is the Navila? Who is the president? Who is the governor? And then sometimes we don't pay attention to who is the local government chairman, who is the councillor, or who is the king. And I think one of the major things we are going to be bringing up today is these people, the traditional rulers, either in the north, in the south, in the east, or in the west, they actually play major role in ensuring that this nation is built up and this nation is a better place than it could ever be. Now, like someone would say, in those who say the kings know who is in their community. The kings know the criminals. The kings know the child from this person's house. Now, if you happen to be a Yoruba person, they would always describe you by the house you come, and it always brings to it a level or an edge of control. Chunu, you're back on. Can I have you? Can I hear you? Hello,
Yes,
Chunu.
I
Can
can
I
hear
hear
you
you?
loud and clear. Can you hear me? Can you hear
Oh,
me?
yes, I can hear you very loud and clear. So I said
Awesome.
the
Awesome.
network has been awesome across the whole of wherever we are located. Whichever way, I know it's going to be an
Yeah.
interesting period with the region because there's so many things we could talk to her about and also learn from her. And I find something interesting about it. She's a regent, means
Yeah.
she's a lady occupying this post. But oh, you don't say that about a king, right? And I really, really want to hear what her experience has been ruling our people, providing leadership, and how responsive are people to traditional rulers? There's so many questions on my mind. Chuno, how has it been? Your
Yeah,
relationship with
I agree. I agree with you. My relationship with
the king of your village?
I oh, okay. Interestingly, it was good. It was quite good because the palace was not so far from my house. I actually lived in my village all my life. My village now became a town, as it were, but it was still a village. But it became one of the first upgraded villages in Nigeria.
Mm.
As far back as 2001, my village already was using GSM.
Ooh,
Everything was, the roads were tarred. Yeah. My village was actually the entrance into Warri,
it's a
the
worry.
village called Efrun in Delta State.
Ooh.
So, so it was an upgraded village, and the king's
Mm.
palace was this big palace that you could go and visit. So I usually visited the king. I had friends there. The children were my friends, so we spent time together. We hung out together, and it was like a modern day king. But as we were talking about our guest for today, I started wondering how many female uh, kings or queens, should I call them queens now, we have in our country. And this, having her here, it's a unique one because I'm also very excited. I really need to know how the reception has been, like you have said, how people, in a culture like ours where it has been men dominating in so many leadership spaces, such as this. How has she been able to hold herself up high? How has she been able to lead her people? Interesting conversations I look forward to today.
Well, I would say maybe the Yoruba kingdom have a provision where there's a regent in place after the demise of a king before the next one, and the person in power in between those two kings is called the regent, and she is as good as final. Everything the community. So really, you said something very interesting, Chuno. You said you used to visit the King's Palace. I think this is an avenue for us to also send this information out to fellow Nigerian parents. Please allow your children to get to your villages. Allow them to have a taste of royalty
Yes.
beyond those that campaign for political offices. Allow them to visit the places where they can actually meet with a link to their ancestral history. To know this is how my family came to be. And visiting the King's Palace, I was the very first palace I think I visited was the Oni of Ife's palace. And it was a tourist experience for me. There were so many things in the King's Palace that talks about the history of the Yoruba kingdom. And I found it interesting. And, I saw the head of Moremi there. That's another woman, an heroine in Yoruba land. And, when they tell you the stories, like, oh, this woman was this valiant, she was a woman that had exhibited so much strength and all that. You start believing more in yourself. If some people had done it before, it's like they bring the heroes right into your sight. I think parents in Nigeria should embrace this attitude of visiting the King's Palaces. There is wisdom in the mouth of the elders. And I'm glad today. I hope the regent is ready for us now. Depending on when Joseph brings her up, I'm sure we will be ready to roll. Between myself and you, we should be able to have a good evening. After all, whatever the internet or technology is trying to put a nail in our program today. So really, Chunu, over to you.
Oh, we have the regents back here.
Sorry,
Your
I
Royal
can't hear.
Majesty, I greet you this evening. We can hear you
I can't
clearly.
hear you. I can't hear anything.
You can't hear us. Can
Uh-oh.
you hear me?
Can you hear me? I can hear you.
You can hear me. Fantastic. Fantastic.
Okay,
So I think we should be able to roll on then. Okay,
beautiful.
so my first question to you was just before the cut off in transmission was how has it been being a traditional ruler in a country like Nigeria?
Well, thank you for having me here, and I'm so very grateful. And well, my experience, I've seen a lot seriously, and I assumed the throne for my 17th birthday, so I was quite young. I hope you can hear me.
Wow. Wow, we can. 17th
Yes, I
birthday. I
can hear
heard
you.
that.
Okay, so transitioning from a regular teenager to a king wasn't easy, so it was quite difficult. But at the same time, it's been an adventure on a whole new level. So it's been good actually, and my people are very supportive. So things are really going well from this end. Really.
Okay, that's a fantastic thing. I think I want to believe there's something they call a blue blood. Royalty is in the blood. So no matter what age you get in there, it just comes on you. We've seen wonderful reports from your end, KBSC, and we are proud of you. I am personally very, very proud of you, KBSC. And it's actually a huge honor for us to have you on this platform.
I,
I'm going to
I
ask,
wish,
what do you wish, Chino?
before you continue, please, before you continue, I wish the screen was so big.
Sorry, I can't hear
I
anything
wish the
at
screen
all.
was so big
I
so I
can't hear
could do
you.
how it's been done in Yoruba. KBAC.
Yeah,
Oh, you can hear me.
it's okay. I could hear
Oh,
you.
that's not so
He
good. I
is
don't know what's
saying,
happening today. I don't know what's happening today.
Chunu wants to prostrate. He wishes the screen is so large so you could see him prostrating like they do in Yoruba land. Did you hear me, Kabiesi? Kabiesi, did you hear me? Wow. Hello, but Chunu, could you hear me?
Ooh.
Chudu, can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear. Loud and clear. I can hear you, baby.
Okay, but we couldn't hear the
Loud
king.
and clear.
Kabiesi, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I was going to ask her if she. Okay, she says she can hear. I can hear her saying she can hear.
Oh, wow.
Okay,
That's
I hope you can still hear me loud and clear. We're going to go over this. Today is an interesting day. Whatever is happening is an interesting day. I'm so excited. If there was anything I heard so far, is that she ascended the throne at the age of 17. I have been mentoring teenagers for 22 years going now, and I'm so excited, that I can tell my teenagers that I know someone who got onto the throne as a teenager. So, if you can hear me, one question I would like to ask you, or what I want to ask you to just simply do is, I want you to just directly talk to every young Nigerian that shy away from responsibility. What do you have to say to them? Because people think, a lot of young Nigerians think leadership is for those people who have made it, those people who are probably in their 40s, 60s, 70s. But what do you have to say to the young Nigerian who I think you believe has leadership capacity in them?
I can't hear.
Okay, so I'm just gonna. Your Majesty, can you hear me? Your Majesty, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, good.
Don't worry.
He was trying to ask what would be your advice to other young Nigerians that have leadership capabilities in them? As since you came to this one at a very young age, is asking what would be your advice to other young Nigerians in terms of age and attaining leadership?
Well, first, this happened without me preparing for it. So sometimes life teaches us in ways that we can't even imagine. Life
Mm,
happens all the time out the window. So sometimes we just have to accept it, and whatever situation we find ourselves, let's just try and maximize what we have so that we would be productive in the things that we do. Because for me here, I've seen a lot of people, young, old, rich, poor. So it's just like, as they say, Yoruba land, Oba Balere Bubu. So
mm,
it's not really easy. It's not been easy, but I've been doing it. I've been here for 5 years. So I've had a lot of experience that has kept me going. So I'll just advise people out there to keep pushing it, whatever it is that you think you're going through, you're not alone. Because for me here, it's not been easy for me as well, but I'm doing it because I surround myself with people. My teams are very, very good. They are very, very understanding, and they're pushing me through everything. And I believe that if we have people like that around us, things will go well. If we have people that are supportive, people that won't bring you down or badmouth you, sometimes we need people to criticize us in a positive way, not bring
mm.
us down or anything. That would actually help us to achieve our potential. So
I
what
go.
I would want people out there is just go for it. Just go for it. You're never alone. Whatever you're doing, just keep pushing it, keep pushing it. You'll get used to it. And I'm very sure that as Nigerians, we can adapt well in all situations. So I can be sure that we all can do best for ourselves.
Mm, fantastic. Just go for it. Just go for it. Can we say that we still practice our culture in Nigeria? Do people really still value the beauty of this our culture? What has the feedback been? For me, I'm chilled looking at you, Your Majesty. But then, do you generally from the feedback, do you think people still value our culture or the Western civilization has taken all this from us?
I didn't get that. Your voice is cracking, so I can barely hear you. The network is crazy over the side. I don't know. Could you repeat that?
Okay, my question. Okay, my question is: do you think that the impact of kings and monarchs are still being felt in Nigeria these days, or the kings and monarchs are taking backstage based on maybe the civilization or a whole lot of other challenges?
Okay, you're,
Did you get that? Yeah.
if I hear you well, you're talking about impacts of kings and monarchs.
Yes.
And I didn't get it. Okay. Um, First, I would say that we know that traditional rulers play useful roles in mediating between the people and the states, and we know that we enhance national identity and all of that. We solve conflicts, and also I can say that we the people at the grassroots. We know our people. We know what they want. We know their attitude. We know what they do. We know how they react to pressure and all of that. So it's in a place to make sure that we set them on the right path. And like, sorry to say this, but I can't say for anywhere else. But here in Yoruba land, we cherish our culture and tradition, especially our monarchy. It's a, it's a decision that we totally respect, and I think that we can still do better. But at the same time, I think the impact it can never be undermined or by sides because, like I said, we're always there helping our people through thick and thin. We're always there for them. So when the government comes, we mediate between them. We tell them what we want. We execute government projects for our people. We help mobilize them, mobilize support and all of that. So I think it's really good, and we need to keep it up actually. And sorry, I know that I don't know if I'm actually speaking out of line, but because I can
No.
barely hear you. But I think I will try to move to a better place and see if I can get better reception, please.
Okay. Well, one other question I was going to ask is: do you think government has been supportive so far of monarchs in Nigeria? How will you rate the government support to monarchs in Nigeria? Has it been good? Or have they also, 'cause ideally, where a king is in a town and there's a government, but the law has come because maybe the government is the one that hands over the track of office, they still need to have the upper hand. But traditionally, if you go by our culture, especially in the Yoruba kingdom, the king is called Kabiesi, meaning you cannot question the king's authority. How has the government been supportive towards this actualization of the sanctity of the office or the existence of the monarch in Nigeria? The government been supportive.
Well, for what it is worth, we know that the institution has been stripped and denied of any statutory role in the constitution, and we know the importance that the institution plays in government. But at the same time, I think that it is still being undermined because you know that there's no place for us in the constitution. There's little room for traditional rulers. So they make us do all the dirty works because they know that we're there at the grassroots, where the people we know what they want and all of that, and they're not doing enough. But actually, these days, I think things are actually improving because we've been seeing uh, traditional rulers forum, which consists of major traditional rulers, first class traditional rulers in Nigeria, emirs, kings, and all. And I think they're really doing well. It's just that I think the government needs to focus more on us. Like I said, we're doing the major work because, as they say, Yoruba land, so whatever happens in the country today is as a result of how well traditional rulers are doing to promote culture and heritage and all of that. So I think that governments can still do better, but of course they are really trying, and I think that they really need to do more for us, especially us at the grassroots, because not everyone has the opportunity to go to conferences and to go to forums to express their mind and all of that. But I think that the government can still create an avenue for us to share our opinion. Well, better actually, but I think that yeah, especially when the only time that the government needs us is when we have crises or security issues, and then we'll have to contact our kings and monarchs. Okay, what's happening here? So that is when they are campaigning for 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 office or anything. That is when they remember us, and I think it shouldn't be like that. They need to they need to be more involved, more aware. I think that's it for me.
I totally want to agree with that. One of the things we talk about here is that the family, like they would tell us when we were in primary school, they said that's the basic unit of the society. And right at the heart of every family is the king in a town, in a village, everywhere there is a set of leadership. And you are very close to the people. So it's easier for the kings really to relate with their own people. So really, I think it's something Nigerians also need to push forward. Or a take home from this conference as we're giving it to Nigeria. Is we need to strengthen the traditional rulers in this country. May I ask you, Your Majesty, do you think ethnic and cultural diversity in Nigeria has caused more disunity? Looking at we have the emirs in the north, the obis in the east, the kings in the west. Is there a way all these traditional rulers can come together to make this nation a better place than it really is right now?
Sorry, can you repeat that? I think I would step outside to see if I can get better reception first, because I am only trying to pick up from the things you say. I can't really hear you. Well, your voice is cracking.
Yeah, no problem. My question is it the ethnic and cultural diversity in Nigeria, has it caused more damage than good for us? Because if you look at there are different cultures. One of the things you would hear when Nigerians clamor for a change in governance, or for disbanding the country, and then some would say no, we're birds of different, how do they put it? We're from different cultures. We're different. So in the first place, we shouldn't be together in a country. But the point is this: the fact that you have the Hausas with their culture, the Yorubas with their culture, the Igbo with their culture. For someone like us, they say when you look at a cup, it's either you're seeing the cup as half full or half empty. And when you see it as half full, these differences, this diversity are meant to bring us together. Now, if anywhere in the world you celebrate a woman's empowerment, a woman's place in ruling is our people, the Yoruba kingdom and also in other tribes, they've shown instances where kings and queens have actually worked together to make their community a better place. Now, the cultural diversity. Your Majesty, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Can you hear me now? Okay, better. Now, my question is the differences in Nigeria, in our culture, in the ethnic diversity that we have it impacted negatively in the unity of the country, the different cultures that we have? And how can we remedy this? How can we bring the culture of the Yoruba man to the man in the north? How can we bring the culture of the Igbo woman to the Yoruba man in the southeast to make sure that there is harmony, even though we have different cultural diversity? Is this possible at all? Does our culture allow us to that interrelate with ourselves as one in this country?
Well, I would say that first of all, there is beauty in diversity, and we know that this dysfunctional marriage was meant to bring unity, brought diversity, and of course, I can say that we still have a long way to go, and there's still a lot to do. But at the same time, we need to work on because diversity has brought ethnicity, unhealthy competition, corruption, and all of that. But at the same time, I think we need to orientate ourselves. We need to orientate ourselves. because, of course, we know that ethnicity has done more damage than good. And at the same time, as humans, we need to check ourselves. We're humans first before we're Igbo, we're Hausa, or we're Yoruba, or any other ethnic groups. We know that we need to work on ourselves. Let's try to revisit let's try to reignite our nationalism. We need to be patriotic
Mm.
to Nigeria. We shouldn't just focus on being Yoruba, being Hausa, being Igbo. We need each other. Because take for instance,
Mm.
if we should separate now, what would happen? So not just three nations will unite, not just Yoruba, Igbo, and Hausa. We have other major ethnic groups, and we can't say that because some could consider them as minority, that they don't have their own voice or their own say. So we should consider all of this before we do things, and let's consider our lifestyles too. Let's consider what happened then. We are still feeling the effects of
Mm.
of the Biafra war up to now. Even the Boko Haram insurgents group. See what is happening to our nation. We need to address
Mm.
all of this, and we need to come together, irrespective of our language or our tribe or anything. And I think it's not just this is not just about our traditional rulers. As individuals, like I've said earlier, we need to work on ourselves. I think to start from that point first. But of course, we know that we also need to reorientate and educate our people about all these things. But as well as individuals, we need to work on ourselves. That's it.
Mm. Thank you so much, Your Majesty. You know, I took something from what you said. There are still so many parts that need to heal in Nigeria, from the Biafran experience and even the insurgencies in the north, and a whole lot of issues that has caused disunity among us. One of the things the preacher put on is we need to put down the arches, we need to bury the past, we need to forgive ourselves truly. The northerners need to forgive the southerners need to forgive the easterners, so that we can actually move this nation to a better place. Now, I repeat to the old traditional rulers and kings. I want to ask, in Iborokwa is a beautiful place in Ondo State and in Akoko land. What
Awoko North
can
is
you tell us more about Iborokwa?
Are you there?
Yes, can you tell us more about Iborokwa?
Oh well, Burapa is a beautiful place here in Akoko land. We're located at Awoko Northeast local government of Ondo State, and we're about 10,000 in population. And mostly we're farmers. We're farmers, we're traders, we're hunters. So uh, we call ourselves Omoileshoro, which means people that are hospitable, people that are rich in culture and tradition. And of course, Iborokwa Akoko is one of the settlements here in Akoko land. We are how do I how do I describe this uh, without stepping on toes really well. I would really want to say that for us here we still need we're still going through that phase of development. Of course, they have all the basic amenities that we need to survive, but at the same time, we still need more. But Iborokwa is a good place to be. Very serene. We're peaceful. We're loving. We're hospitable. So that's it for me.
Okay.
Yes.
Next question will be are there avenues for children to relate with
Network.
royalty? Are there opportunities for children to relate with the royalty in Niborokwa? Are there
Oh,
programs or projects
of
that
course.
bring children around?
Of course, they have many projects because the palace organizes uh, programs for children, so that we could tell them that, for me, I'm a young person, and although my chiefs are elderly, I think the youngest should be around 56 of my chiefs. So I bring in the interest of the youth and children, not just I don't just I represent their interests as well. So in her, although mostly my chiefs are concerned about, okay, let's focus on the mothers and the fathers, but I usually chip in for little words here and there for the children, and of course we've had several empowerment programs from the government for the people, for the children and the youth, and as well from our people too, children that are well to do out there. They try as much as, because these days you can't rely on governments for anything. Sorry, I don't know who's hearing this, but they know that I am saying the truth. We can't just wait for them to do everything for us. As people, we have to work on ourselves and develop ourselves. So that is what we do around here. And I can assure you, I can assure you, the children are being carried along with anything, not just in the palace, but in the community at large.
I just saw a comment from one of our viewers. He said, if the story is an interesting one, I would love to be there. So fantastic. I'm happy we're talking about Iborokwa in Akiko land today. And there's so much to be learned from having you today. One, there's a message it sends out to the people, there's a message it sends out to the women, there's a message it sends out to the young people in Nigeria. So, Kabesi, you're an embodiment of a lot of things for other people to learn and emulate from. And like I said, right here today, it's been a fantastic time having you on on the Nigerian conference. I have just a final question for you, Kabesi. What would be your advice to Nigerians generally? How can we unite? What's your view? How do we work together to make sure that Nigerians appreciate their custom? Let them know that no matter where you go, I love that song. You know, though it wasn't sung in Nigeria, no matter where you go, always remember the road that leads you home.
Yes.
And the basis of where you're coming from is important. And this is also an avenue for us to also reach out to Nigerians. You might be in the core of the city. In fact, you might be outside Nigeria. You must always learn to give back to the grassroots where you came from. It is very, very important. So, Kabiesi, any word for Nigerians generally on how to move this nation forward, coming from the traditional perspective?
Uh, I think you've said it all, really, but I would love to add that before we think of ourselves as anything, like I've said earlier, we need to know that we're Nigerians first. Before we see Bola, Emeka, Audu, and other people as our friends and our neighbors, we need to see ourselves as Nigerians first. And aside that, let's go back to our grassroots. Let's go back home. Let's embrace who we are. Because right now people are imbibing Western cultures and all of that. But we need to go back home. Let's embrace our food, our dressing, our language, our culture. That would help us really. That is a way for us to accept who we are, and with that, we would integrate with other people, with other culture. So we won't even have reasons to criticize how other people are acting, how other
Mm.
people are relating with themselves and other people. So we should consider all of that too. So let's consider the way. Let's go back home, like I've said. We all need to go back home. So for people that doesn't go home, I don't know how to speak their dialects or how to speak even Yoruba or Igbo or Hausa. We need to learn that. We need to go back home. Let's go back to our traditional institutions. Let them guide us and put us through. That is why we are
Mm.
here. We're here to help you, to educate you, to make this country great. So let's work on this together and make Nigeria great again.
Thank you so much, Kabiesi. It's a privilege and honor to have you. And I'll be extending our invitation to say some of our children, Project One children, we might be considering having an excursion to Borokwa to visit your
Oh
palace and
wow,
experience what it means
that's
to be
That would
in
be
the house
lovely.
of the
I
king.
look forward to that. Oh, that sounds really
That's
good. That sounds
fantastic. That's fantastic. So
yes.
thank you
You're
so
always
much for
welcome.
your time. Thank you, Nigerians. The Majesty, we are so honored to have you. And like I said, we look forward to having more collaborations with you.
I'm humbled.
May the
Thank
king
you.
reign for long.
Thank you,
Ekweto
Ashe.
eno,
Thank you for having me.
Ekweto
Ashe,
eno.
thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
you
God bless
so, so much. Thank you. So thank you, Nigerians. We've come to the end of day 5 of the Army Nigerian conference. It was a bit, call it turbulence caused by technology. But then our flight is about landing. And it's been a fantastic time having Regent Tinuade Adejuyigbe on the day 5 of the Army Nigerian conference. She has told us the challenges they have as monarchs, as traditional rulers, and they need to integrate more into the grassroots. I think this is the message to Nigerians out there. Please and please, there is nowhere like home. Nigeria is home to every one of us, but we also need to learn to embrace where we come from. And one of the things we said when we started the 2020 Army Nigerian conference is that we are trying to foster unity through the things that have hitherto divided us. We had a feedback from it. We have different religion, we have different tribe. How can we be one? I said, first, you need to identify that you need to tolerate one another. Know that it is not necessarily a country of one tribe. It is not necessarily a country of one religion, but a country of people who work interrelatedly, who learn from one culture to the other, who learn the rules, the values, the integrity that is preached across the states and the communities. And you will find a whole lot of similarities in all that looks different to us at the moment. So really, this is my words to Nigerian today. Respect your kings. For those who do not know the name of their kings, this is a take home. Find out who is the king in my village. How are kings made in my village? How do they choose leaders? What are the leadership traits a king is meant to show to the people? What are the things I can learn by visiting my king's palace? What are the things I'm supposed to do as a representative of my town, of my village? We need to listen to the voice of the kings, and we hope that with Project One, we'll be able to provide more platform for the traditional rulers, because they play major and vital role in nation building that can never be overemphasized. We heard that what Regent Adejuyigbe had said. There are different programs. They know their people. They know the people in that most times so going forward, we need to connect to the grassroots. We need to listen to the kings. We need to listen to the emirs. We need to listen to the OBs. We need to empower them so that they can be respected as they are destined to be. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, Faith. Thank you, Chuno, and everyone who had participated and all who were here today. We see you tomorrow, where we bring in Imam in Nigeria to talk to our Muslim brothers, how we all can participate in nation building, how we can actually have a country that is full of peace, that is full of unity, and that is full of economic empowerment for its citizens. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your hour, and have a lovely evening. Thank you.
Project One Productions. Beautiful people, one Nigeria. Different language, proud Nigeria. There's plenty food, these people good, oh. All of us in peace and unity. Oh yeah, hail Nigeria. Nigeria is sweet as sugar. Sweet as sugar, oh. Different people and Nigeria. It no matter where you from, we don't be. All of us in peace and unity. Oh yeah, hail Nigeria. Oh, I'm a Nigerian too. I'm a Nigerian too. Strong, strong people, one great nation. One great nation. Different faces, one Nigeria. It no matter what you speak, we say big brother. All of us in peace and unity. We are glad for Nigeria. Different stories, many places to go. Yeah. Plenty resources, everywhere green, yo. It no matter where we go, now we go be king. All of us in peace and unity. Oh yeah, here Nigeria. Nigeria is sweet as sugar. Sweet as sugar. Different people and Nigeria. Oh, it no matter where you from, we don't be no way. It no matter. All of us in peace and unity. Oh yeah, yeah, Nigeria.
Hello, hello, hello. My name is Mabel, and I am a Nigerian.
My name is Destiny Elu.